Hello Smite fans and Smite viewers, and welcome to the second week of the Smite OPL. I have a bit of a game here for you today. First up we have pretty much the old Avant Garde versus the new Avant Garde, Team Pandamonium, previously under that banner. But before we get into any more information about the two teams here, of course, my name is Parathas. Casting alongside me today is Alpha Jackal. Good to see you back. How excited are you to be seeing old Avant versus new Avant?
Absolutely thrilled. I mean, I've been following both these teams since I really first started watching the scene. Team Pandemonium obviously went to the Smite World Championships, had a roster change or two since then, but they're still looking incredibly strong. Avant-Garde struggling a bit, say, but they definitely have potential, and one of the teams which could potentially upset Team Pandemonium.
And before we get into picks and bans, I just want to remind everyone in the chat that we do have a giveaway going on. And just by watching the stream, you get 1 point per minute of watching. Subscribers get 2 points, so double the points. Make sure you guys subscribe. And at the end of the split, the top 8 viewers will go into the draw to win a massive Smite pack, which contains a Smite snapback, a gold varsity jacket, and a Smite tee. So one of the mods will post in the chat the Cybergame link to see how many points you have already accumulated. But let's go ahead and jump right into the picks and bans. We should be expecting to see a few things here from Pandamonium and Avant Garde, especially towards Row in the solo lane. I want to be maybe seeing a few more aggressive picks, as Susanoo is the first ban for Pandamonium.
Yeah, a lot of people have been really complaining and raging about Susanoo. I mean, I didn't realize he was available in ranked for one of my ranked games. He got picked and he absolutely stomped over the entirety of the team. So he's incredibly strong, incredibly mobile, and does there's a lot of damage in the early and mid game, which starts to fall off going into the late game. But he's still one of the top bans out there. And Janus, I expected that to come out. Both the mid laners really love this god.
Yeah, and Guan Yu is banned on Avant Garde as well. Banning away that Janus is huge. No one wants Cheetah to be playing Janus. No one really wants Mouse to be playing Janus. Although both of them do have quite a large god pool, so banning that away is pretty crucial for both teams here. Guan Yu also has pretty much 100% pick or ban rate in the OPL so far. Khepri, strong support banned out for Avant.
Yeah, and that does leave through Alquang. I know a lot of people do think he is probably one of the top junglers out there. I'm sort of in the boat as well, but Raijin, definitely considered top mid laner out there. He's going to be picked up for Team Pandemonium. A lot of burst damage coming out from the Thunder God.
Yeah, again, another one of those gods that have been picked pretty much 100% of the time as Athena. Again, a lot of these very, very strong picks that you see in every single game, and you know, if it's not broken, you might as well pick it, and that's why they've gone for both of these picks here.
Well, Athena's actually been struggling in the SPL of late, having a well below 50% win rate on that god. So it's surprising to see it so heavily favored here for Avant-Garde. Maybe they have a strategy to help alleviate the woes that Athena has with the Hu Yi pickup as well.
Already the duo lane coming through from Avant. That's going to be going towards Tomahawk. And also Rama and Geb, both of the duo lanes already picked up fairly early in these picks and bans. Usually you would see maybe a jungler. Supports are usually picked up, but already complete lane finish for both teams.
And the jungler pickup from Avant-Garde means that Pandemonium are looking to ban out more mid laners here, give Raijin his best matchup possible. Conversely, on Avant-Garde, I expect to see a couple jungler bans like Thorpe, Kali, maybe even a Mercury if Team Pandemonium were looking to play that god.
Yeah, well, Pandemonium really should be looking to ban out the big junglers. There's Avant-Garde banning away the Awilix. Also, Liquid Renegade, we've spotted that he picks these really tanky and utility-based junglers, so maybe looking to ban away. Raven played very strong last week as well. We had a lot of invades coming out from the last week of the OPL. That's a very strong ban from Pandemonium.
Option back over to Avant-Garde, and it's actually going to be an Osiris ban, not what I was expecting at all.
Oh, interesting.
Really fearing the solo lane from Pandemonium there.
I'm not sure if Ro's been playing Osiris in the scrims, but apparently he must be to ban away that Osiris, and especially because he wants to be playing those aggressive solo lane picks. Zeus is banned for Pandemonium, so Mouse very limited on his mid-game gods here.
Well, the Zeus ban is actually pivotal right there, because Athena allows Zeus to be safe in the mid lane. With the massive slows coming out from Nemesis, it's very easy for Zeus to then confirm his high burst damage. So it's a good option to get rid of that. Thor's going to be locked in, so one of Nemesis or Thor is actually going to be going to the solo lane.
Yeah, it kind of goes even 50-50. I want to be seeing Liquid on that Thor. As I said, he plays his utility-based gods, Humbats and Tyr locked in. So Thor, very utility-based late game with the stun from the Anvil of Dawn and that wall as well. Very strong, not the duo lane, the solo and jungler pick for Pandamonium.
Yeah, the Humbats is really going to look to be the initiator for the team, with Tyr and Keb causing backline disruption. And not to mention that Rama and Raijin can be very safe for themselves, banish themselves up into the air. Rama does it a bit more effectively, and they can just look to zone themselves out of the fight. Agni is a bit better than you'd expect at managing to damage the backline from afar.
Yeah, with those bombs, he has a lot of range on them as well. He can hit stuns over walls as well, so a lot of good damage coming through. We're just going to jump right ahead into the game here for you guys. This is the first game of the second week between Team Pandamonium and Avant, Garde. Very excited to be seeing Ro playing Tyr as well.
Oh, I can't wait. Tyr is a very high technically skilled god, and to see one of the premier players in Oceania playing this god is going to be a real treat.
I'm not sure if I've seen Ro play jungle Tyr before. Surely he must have. He plays the Guan Yu jungle, so it wouldn't be surprising to see him playing a Tyr jungle in the past. But now that he's solo, and especially because he's very aggressive, which is something Hughesy's pointed out, if Ro wants to dive a tower or play super aggressive, he's going to have a lot of sustain. And even if he doesn't ult in, he can ult out of the tower. Also, he has that sustain with the power clip as well, Alpha.
Yeah, he does, and, well, he's going to be going against L Chuckles, who's playing the Nemesis, who can do effective poke, especially with the Bluestone Pendant, but will really struggle in the mid-game of this wave. I would say around levels 5, 6, and 7 is where you're really going to see Ro just shove as many waves as possible. And I do like the decision to put Thor in the jungle instead. Better gank opportunities coming out from the Norse God of Thunder.
And something that Avant really need to be aware of is Team Pandemonium and their efficiency to farm. We saw it all of last week, just denying the farm from whoever they're versing. So if Avant Garde can stay on track of their buffs and all of their mid camps and just look for these equal trades, even if it's for a 1-for-1, then they can not lose such a lead to Team Pandemonium and really only fight when it's necessary and when they can get that trade.
Both supports going to be looking very aggressive in this early game. Athena during the laning phase and Swaya on his rotations, as you can see if they're at relic pickup. Because Elevation for Tomahawk, and over on the side of Sway is going to get the Blink.
Yeah, I love the Blink coming through from Swaya. Playing very aggressive. Blink Cataclysm is one of the most devastating combos in the game. But also, don't cancel out Tomahawk playing that Athena. The Taunt also extremely strong as we head into late game.
Managing to get all three of the fire elementals are Team Pandemonium. This is going to give Ro better experience in this lane than El Chuckles being level 5 faster. And look for a potential kill.
Liquid Renegade falling down. First blood going towards Ochita, missing that hammer there. Really good stun there from Ochita to really cancel out the hammer before he could even teleport. Just really miscommunication, really play there from Liquid Renegade getting caught out.
Yeah, and there could be Mouse getting caught out as well. He dashes away. That's well played. As Spox just looks to clear the way with Ochita. But a power potion Soulstone Raijin really hurts early on, and just wasn't expecting the burst with Liquid Renegade.
Yeah, and the Humbats has also started off with the red pot, doing a lot of damage early game. Both mid camps and the fire elementals picked up for Pandemonium already have a bit of a lead, picking up that first blood and even denying a bit of farm for Avant Garde. This might actually be too late already.
Yeah, you can already see it's taken its toll in the jungle. A level and 500 gold ahead is Sporks as he actually 2 levels ahead now as he procs his ultimate. And look for him to go over to this left-hand side and just put immense pressure onto Tomahawk and Rob Diggity.
Mid lane though, Mouse taking very low, forced to use the beads there. Ochita playing very aggressive, instantly had that those Takeo drums and just decided to use it straight away in lane, just for that pressure.
Well, it's also a win for him considering 90-second cooldown versus 160-second cooldown. That gives him 70 seconds of free time to use that ultimate again and guarantee himself some CC and possibly even a kill.
And even the Pheno Evil is still up on online, so Sporks should be looking to play very aggressive onto Mouse, who's really going to have to be sitting under tower. Liquid Renegade, still not even level 5.
El Chuckles in the solo lane is now starting to get bullied, as I predicted. Ro really doing a lot of damage to him in the power cleave. And the Slice and Dice still not able to clear the wave.
And Ro looking in the jungle here Might actually catch out Liquid here, but also Chuckles is lurking in the jungle, just making sure if you want to commit. Fearless coming through, good power cleave, good ultimate there as well from Chuckles. The shield comes down, Row taken down to half health, but a good trade there for Chuckles.
Yeah, he's gonna just walk back towards his tower as Row just clears up the wave. He's gonna power cleave it just for a bit of an extra sustain, extra heal, and make sure he stays alive in this lane.
Meanwhile, though, Spork's looking very aggressive here with Ochita. Tried to invade that speed buff in the Anvil of, not the Anvil of Dawn, should I say, the Defender of Olympus. Down. Spork's actually invading the speed buff and securing that one.
Yeah, he's going to be able to just go ahead and pick that one up, deny it for Liquid Renegade, and gain himself some extra farm. So it's going to put him even further ahead than he already is.
Now, big grouping here for Panda as they look to clear out their back jungle. I want to have a look into the grass as well. 1.3k experience already, should I say, in favor of Panda, and 1.2k gold. It's looking very, very favorable for Team Pandamonium here, Alpha.
Yeah, they've already got the massive lead this early on. Like, 1,000 gold and 1,000 experience is no joking matter at 4 minutes into the game. So Cheetah's actually going to get ganked by Tomahawk. Out goes the Fear Evil as well, and they'd look to turn this one around.
Ochita taken very low, then manages to teleport away, but coming down is Thor. Manages to use that Anvil of Dawn, misses the ultimate though, and Liquid Renegade now in a tough position here. Spork's in the mid lane, picks up Mouse, however, and Tomahawk stuck at half health. Has to just
Liquid Renegade looking to pick up Liquid Renegade was looking to pick up a cheetah on the left-hand side, but a good Geb shield just denies him the opportunity there for the kill.
2-0 already for Team Pandamonium. Big lead here. Again, look at the grass. It's still just about a K in favor of them. Avant, unfortunately, not able to pick up a kill in that engagement there. Really splitting themselves up. Liquid Renegade just diving the backline with no follow-up whatsoever and wasn't able to pick up Ochita. Left side mid-camps getting picked up by Panda as well.
Yeah, and just expect to see this constant. Look to see Spork, Sway, and Ochita just grouped up, looking to cause mayhem as a group of 3 throughout the entirety of the map. Because right now, they're ahead, and their 3-man stack is more potent, more threatening than Tomahawk, Mouse, and Liquid Renegade is right now.
And also, Swayer didn't use that Cataclysm or the Blink in that team fight, so he still has that online. If Pandemonium want to come back and look aggressive onto Mouse, or anyone in the mid lane, really, ward battle coming out here, Swayer's just looking fairly aggressive, going to be putting those wards down, making sure that if that red buff comes up, he knows his team can go and pick it up easy.
Yeah, and rotating back over the mid lane is Swayer's potential gank going to come out onto the Agni and to the Thor, but they're just going to go back into their own jungle before Geb even has a chance to blink.
Very interesting build here that I'm having a look at. Tomahawk going into the Traveler shoes already and building into that Iron Mail. Should be a Sovereignty, Alpha?
Yeah, I imagine that this will be a Sovereignty. It's a very standard build that we do see coming out for supports. Sovereignty certainly coming back since its buff a couple weeks ago.
Might be in a bit of trouble. Forced to use that ultimate away, and there's a big grouping here. Panda, 4 members here in very deep of Avant-Garde's jungle, but Ro manages to escape that one. El Chuck was doing so much damage with that Divine Judgment and that Slice and Dice combo.
And so Liquid Renegade and Mouse just making sure they claim the speed buff for themselves, but Fatal Wheel's coming out to try and steal it. Not going to be able to do so as the engagement breaks out.
Big Cataclysm there, and the Taiko drums come down. Ro picks up the kill onto El Chuckle's Mouse. Fallen down as well. 4-0 already for Team Pandemonium. Just utter chaos here for Avant-Garde, not able to pick up any kills.
And it was almost a 4-for-1 there as Subfloor, nearly falling down in a solo matchup in the ADC lane. No, it's not all doom and gloom right now for Avant-Garde.
Well, really, I guess you can say the deciding factor is when they go for this Gold Fury fight. Rob Diggity hasn't really been doing too much other than stay in lane, box out Subfloor as the typical ADC does, but expect to see Rob Diggity as soon as he comes online to just be doing so much. If he can get that mark and the Ricochet combo, he's going to be doing so much damage.
Yeah, I mean, it just does so much, especially in the mid-game when he has that Mark of the Golden Crow maxed out at either level 12 or 14, depending on how you level him. And he's going to start rotating to fights. He's going to have that immense Gold Fury pressure with that Sunbreaker ultimate as well. It's going to be difficult for Pandemonium to really snowball this lead.
Yeah, and also Tomahawk, he's going to be playing that Athena, and Taunt, as we said, late game. Very, very strong, one of the best supports. Mouse as well is going to be doing a lot of damage, as we said, in the picks and bans with those long-range bombs. And Liquid, as soon as he hits late game, he's really just going to be playing that utility-based god. But if El Chuckles and Rob Diggity can just come back from this one, isn't out of Avant-Garde's favour just yet.
Oh, and in the mid lane, small engagement breaking out. No, it's going to be just a good retreat there by Avant-Garde.
Yeah, just a 1-for-1 trade of these two mid camps here. Just getting a little bit more farm for
But
Avant.
solo lane. Ooh.
Ooh. Chuckle was very low there.
Yeah, he did bring out the ultimate onto Ro, looked to go aggressive, but the minion aggro was just too much for him to handle.
Ro does have his ultimate online, but Chuckle's just going to back and play safe. Again, Panda just lurking in the jungle here. Red buff picked up by Mouse, and they know that if they're going to fight there, Rob Diggity would be able to rotate, but they're just going to push this mid lane play a bit more aggressive. Looking to go over to Gold Fury here, Alpha.
Yeah, it's a good decision right now. They could look to try and bait the fights. They do have all their ultimates available, and you see Spock's positioning. He really wants to have this pincer movement where he can just ult people in towards his own team for extra damage.
Rob Diggity lurking behind that wall. Has that Sunbreaker online, so if he wanted to go on that big Cataclysm coming through as well, Liquid Renegade forced to use the beads and jump out of there, but Ochita just missing that last hit of the takeover jump. Sport picks up the kill, however, and the Suns were dropped as well in that fight.
Yeah, on the back line, up in the air, had to go subfloor as was caught in that ultimate. And now the aggression continues into the mid lane. Sporks with the overhand smash, just zoning away Rob Diggity and Mouse.
And it's going to be a complete reset for both teams here. Picking up Liquid Renegade and then just resetting the fight. But, oh, big taunt there. Double man taunt. Good stun there as well. Onto Ochita. Taking very low. Oh no, call it. Only a quarter HP. And Chuckles comes into the fight there. Picks up the kill onto Ochita. And it's their first kill of the game. Avant-Garde able to pick that one up.
Yeah, they finally managed to get themselves on the board. It's going to be on the solo lane, L Chuckles, which has brought him back up to within 400 gold of his opponent, Ro. They do have a line to go towards that gold, but not going to take it. It's going to secure their own farm, and I like that decision.
Now Tomahawks finished off that sovereignty after that first kill. Their Swayer deciding to go for a different route there. Not even picking up the boots or the Iron Mail. He's gone straight into the Wing Blade as his first finished item.
Yeah, with the slows coming out from Avant-Garde, you know, you have the slow coming out from Rob Diggity in his ultimate, you have the slow coming out from Al Chuckles. It's a good pickup, gives him the extra survivability and extra mobility.
Yeah, I really like it as well. Should be looking to maybe get into a Traveler's Shoes, maybe a cooldown boots if he wants to as well. Again, a big grouping here for Pandamonium. Gold Fury still up for contention. 10.5 minutes in, 5-1 reads the scoreline.
I mean, you can just see how much work the Traveler Shoes are doing for Tomahawk. He's the only person on the team to be ahead of his respective opponent, albeit by just over 300 gold. But that's simply because the Traveler Shoes are doing so much for him.
No doubt here. Now Ro looking in the jungle. Left. Oh, these right side mid camps. Oh, Ro looking to ult into L Chuckles here, doing a lot of damage, but Chuckles manages to just escape there, using the beads as well. Good trade there for Pandemonium.
Yeah, again, it's that cooldown versus cooldown. You got to make sure that you're getting the shorter cooldown in these engagements, and then look to engage once yours are back up and theirs is still down. Left hand side, subfloor still getting shoved absolutely massively by Rob Diggity.
Yeah, Rob Diggity's just got that lead. I mean, he plays the Hoi Yi so often. The Hoi Yi's of OCE, really. Rob Diggity showing why you should ban away Hoi Yi against Rob Diggity.
Yeah, and he's level 12, has access to his second relic, hasn't gone back to base to pick it up yet. I do expect that it would potentially be either a sprint to allow them better mobility around the fights, or a sanctuary to keep himself alive even longer.
Yeah, I would like to see the sanctuary, especially because they're versing Ochita on that Raijin. That Taiko drums does so much as well. The Mark, just so much damage. If he wanted to go into, oh, but mid lane, big ult there coming through from Tomahawk, and the Taiko drums go right back down onto Tomahawk as well. Fear Not Evil used up, and no one able to pick up the kill. Tomahawk manages to escape on 60 HP.
Yeah, Ochita going to have some pressure put into him though, as he manages to get away. Tomahawk solo, he's going to have to go back to base, but with the Defender of Olympus ultimate available, if a Gold Fury was attempted by Team Pandemonium, it would still be a 5v5.
Oh, and then our solo lane as well. Ro using that. Oh, Defender of Olympus comes down. Chuckles gets a solo kill onto Ro, diving that tier 1 tower. Not the best decision making coming through from Ro, but Avant-Garde are starting up the Gold Fury as well. They could take this one.
Yeah, this is what they needed to do. Oh, Avant-Garde destroyed the Gold Fury indeed, and they've put themselves right back into this. They've drawn parity in the golds department. If you have a look at the graphs, you can see the experience is actually going their way as well. So for now, Avant-Garde technically have the lead.
Yeah, turning that lead around. Really good play there from El Chuckles and Tomahawk as well, baiting over on that right side. Force the rest of Team Pandemonium to rotate into that right jungle. And in the meantime, all of Avant Garde was starting up that Gold Fury. They had no ward vision on it at all. And I don't even think that Pandemonium know that the Gold Fury is down at this point.
No, they have no reason to suspect that it would be down. Well, actually, no. Swayer did rotate in and try to steal it with the shockwave.
Yep.
So they do know it's down. They do have the timer on it.
And now a big grouping here for both teams here as well. If we have a solid team fight in mid, all of the ultimates are basically online for Team Pandemonium. The 3 crucial ultimates, and the damage comes down onto Liquid. About 3/4 HP, manages to teleport away. But the blink up in about 10 seconds, that's when Sway is going to be looking for these fights.
Yeah, Swayer should be the one to engage. Sporks does have his Fear No Evil online, I believe. So, ooh. Yeah.
Good damage onto Chuckles, forcing him away. Bro, just putting the pressure down onto Chuckles. And look how aggressive he's playing. He's getting turned around. Liquid Renegade, good wall there. Not going to hit the stun. Fearless missing from Ro. He has that ultimate to maybe get away. But Anvil of Dawn coming up. Liquid Renegade gets that taunt. Should be looking to come down onto him in a second. Takeover drums coming to 3 members in the back line. But Liquid Renegade picks up the kill onto Ro. And the defender of Olympus comes down onto him.
There's good defender Olympus manages to save his Thor there, and now they can look to try and chase down Team Pandemonium as they have the advantage.
Mouse gets a kill and Ochita returns it straight away back onto Mouse, but have a look, Subfloor is rotated back into the fight, manages to miss the snipes onto Liquid Renegade, who just gets out on very little HP, and Panda really need to back out of this fight. Rob Diggity's full health, level 14, and he has the backup of Tomahawk. It's going to be a retreat from Pandemonium though.
They have to make sure that they do get out of this fight. As, oh my god, they managed to turn it around very well, and they do have the lead. So they do have the lead so far, so it's going to be difficult for Pandemonium to fight into them as they were doing so in the earlier in the game.
Yeah, a 2-for-1 trade. Having a look into the graphs, it's now massively in favor. Good ultimate there from Rob Diggity to force Ochita from backing there, and Swayer. Oh, Ro actually turning that around, gets the kill onto Rob Diggity, manages to teleport in behind without Avant Garde even knowing. And just having a look here, Pandemonium 7-4. Avant Garde have that lead now, even though there were a few early invades from Pandemonium on that speed buff. It's 2.6k in favor of Avant Garde, and 900 gold in favor of them as well.
Alright, we're going to have to cut to a short break. Unfortunately, Stasis Mode has claimed my life. So we'll be right back as we fix these technical issues.
Alrighty, guys, and we're back after that short little break here. Just a short little technical difficulties. It wouldn't be an OPL stream without some client problems. But back into this game, Avant Garde looked to be on a little bit of a comeback here against Team Pandamonium. 7-4 reads the scoreline at the moment, Alpha.
Yeah, and they're about 1,700 gold in the lead, so it's not just with the experience that they are ahead. Tomahawk really proving to be having the better pickup with those traveler shoes over the Wingblade.
Yeah, as you said earlier, he's the only member in the game ahead of his respective opponent, other than, well, that was the case earlier on, but now that they've come back in this lead, have a look at Chuckles, 2 levels ahead of Ro. Ro 2-2-1 at this point, but he's just been way too aggressive, and that's pretty much his biggest hindrance in this solo lane, as the ultimate comes right back down onto El Chuckles. Damage there onto Ro, and Liquid Renegade lurking in the jungle just in case Ro wants to return that ultimate favor.
Yeah, and you don't want to be going aggressive when you know a Thor is in your jungle, as El Chuckles is going to be good.
Subfloor manages to pick up a kill there onto Rob Diggity using that that Astral Barrage. The Rob Diggity unfortunately unable to get that Sunbreaker off.
Yeah, it's surprising to see that Hu Yi is the one going to be falling in a boxing matchup in the mid game. Really touted as the premier mid game hunter. So to see a Rama getting the kill is going to be difficult.
Over in our solo lane though, the Taiko drums come down long range. The Ochita unable to find any damage onto Mouse, who successfully manages onto the Liquid Renegade, should I say, but manages to take away that blue buff there from Ro. Oh no, okay. Ochita manages to secure that one for Ro there. Very good pick there from Ochita.
Yeah, Blink, Cataclysm, and Taiko drums were used in that engagement just to pick up the blue buff and try and just keep Liquid Renegade away from it. They're just trying to keep Ro in this game, as El Chuckles could have the potential to snowball his team to victory.
And meanwhile, the Gold Fury has spawned 18 minutes into this game. It's pretty much anyone's pick at this point. If Avant Garde can have their entire team over there, if Chuckles can rotate in, he can pretty much shut down Ro as he's been doing in this entire game here. Tomahawk is doing so well on that Athena, getting those taunts pretty much perfect every time. And even if Rob Diggity rotates into these fights, it could almost spell disaster for Pandamonium.
Yeah, Pandamonium, they have to be careful. They have to make sure that they get this lead back in their favor. They have to make sure that they win this game as quickly as possible. Because going into the late game, I have to favor Avant Garde's comp slightly. Yes, they don't have as much frontline, but Thor can transition into a bruiser, as can Nemesis with her ultimate, and they do have Rob Diggity and Mouse raining down damage from the backline. It'll be difficult for Pandamonium to dislodge them.
Yeah, I really like the pick here from El Chuckles and Liquid. Nemesis is pretty much going to be unkillable late game. She has a lot of protections online as Panda, looking aggressive in this left lane jungle. Tries to catch out Mouse, but he manages to dash away. He already has Chuckles, should I say. Oh, big Fearless coming through onto Rob Diggity. Can he dive bomb over the wall? Manages to get it, and the Defender of Olympus comes down as well to back up his teammate, Rob Diggity. Very, very low there.
Yeah, Rob Diggity has to get out of dodge. They could look to turn this 4v5 kind of go, just to make sure that they're very careful about it, though. Fatal Evil was indeed used by Sporks in that fight, as he guessed wrongly where Rob Diggity was going to go, and Astral Barrage as well, actually.
Yeah, just to try and delay the back, but they've delayed it a bit too long here. Pandamonium might be in a bit of trouble. It's a 5v5 here as they look to take down this tier 1 tower, but they do recognize that the entire team of Avant Garde are here to defend this one. If they're going to commit to a fight, they're going to have to commit their entire lives to it. And knowing that Sporks and Subfloor have their ultimates down, and Tomahawk really isn't going to be using that Defender of Olympus in this fight. Oh, Sway manages to engage Mouse, using that beads perfectly to make sure the Cataclysm stun doesn't come through. Triple stun there, Sunbreaker combo comes out from Rob Diggity. The tier 1 tower almost falls down there as Subfloor. One more basic should do it, but Panda, I think they need a retreat here. That's a lot of ultimates used there on the side of Avant Garde to try and defend that.
They're just trying to push an advantage, which they don't have right now. They're really just going into fights, which they don't really have a business being in. They're looking to try and fight underneath towers.
Liquid Renegade using that Anvil of Dawn to dive right into the backline of Pandamonium. Overhand smash is not going to pick up a kill. Chuckles manages to find one on Ro. Returns it onto Liquid Renegade. Ro, so low, Subfloor manages to pick up a kill, however, to El Chuckles. And now Pandamonium turn that little bit of a fight around in their favor and pick up that tier 1 tower. That's a 2-for-1 trade. Ochita, the only member to fall down on Pandamonium. And they're turning that one around. Ro should be able to pick up this Gold Fury here. That was a really big fight there in favor of Pandamonium.
Yeah, Avant may have got baited by the fact that Team Pandamonium had used all their ultimates. They just didn't realize the fact that Subfloor was still going to be doing immense amount of damage with this kin size and nasty pickup. The penetration going into that percentage health chunk. And with the zone potential coming out from Ro and Swayer and a Cheetah's massive damage, it was just a fight Avant couldn't take.
10-5 now. Pandamonium might have brought it back in their favor. Have a look at the graphs here as well. Experience is practically even. There's a little bit of in favor of Pandamonium after that fight, but that's just a few minions being picked up. But the gold difference is where it's really at. Pandamonium, 2,000 gold in favor of them. That was the 1-for-1 Gold Fury trade as well. It's picking up 2 members with pretty high net worth. That was Mouse and Liquid Renegade falling down in that fight as well, Alpha.
Yeah, and you just wouldn't expect Team Pandemonium to have this small of a lead going into 21.5 minutes into the game. Avant really been doing well to keep up in the farm, keep up in the experience department, and make sure that they take this game as long as possible.
Yeah, massive props to Avant Garde. I'm going to have to take back my word. After a minute when Pandemonium were picking up all of the camps, pretty much said it was over for Avant, but they are proving that while they're in the Pro League and they really want to take a game off of Pandemonium, and you know, these last few fights have really shown that Avant Garde can really bring it to Team Pandemonium.
Yeah, and I would like to see Mouse on this Agony build one defensive item, simply just because Agony does a lot of damage in terms of base and scaling, so it doesn't really need 6 full power items to be able to just wreak havoc from the backline. One defensive item keeps him alive and make sure he can just utility mage for the team.
I was actually really surprised. I should have mentioned this earlier. Cheetah picked up that Dynasty Plate Helm, which we usually see on the mid laners. I would have liked to see Mouse build that earlier on in the game.
I mean, it could potentially have done up against Sporks in the jungle, but it was really going to be fearing the early game damage from a Cheetah on that Raijin. That was where the burst was going to come from, with the setup coming up from Sporks and Swayer as well. So no surprise to see him not pick that one up. He does need that defensive item going into the next fight.
Over in solo lane, big grouping here. Defender of Olympus already down on the side of Avant Garde. Good double stun there. Double tap coming through onto Sporks, and the taunt comes right down onto Ro under the tower. That's a good ultimate from El Chuckles, but Ro not feeling the damage at all. The Fear Not Evil comes right back down onto Liquid Renegade, using that beads perfectly, and they're turning their aggression now onto Tomahawk. The Takeover drums come right down onto 3 members. Tomahawk manages to escape there on about a quarter HP, but the rest of Pandemonium here looking very aggressive towards this tier 1 tower. Pandemonium bring the lead back in their favor as they managed to pick up the kill. Their subfloor with the snipes picks up Tomahawk with that Astral Barrage.
Just better rotations coming out from Team Pandemonium. They knew that they could take that fight if they baited it correctly, and it was baited beautifully by Ro and Sporks. I see Ro's just completely zoning out the rest of the team.
Oh my goodness gracious. Swayer with a good double Cataclysm under the tier 2 tower. But in the meanwhile, Rob Diggity pushing that tier 2 tower in the left lane, doing a good job at split pushing. El Chuckles though, Liquid Renegade falling down to subfloor, just doing so much damage with that penetration build as you mentioned earlier, Alpha.
Yeah, the shell was popped to try and just take down this tower. They did manage to pick it up. A lot of damage. They went aggressive. Not going to be able to get the Phoenix, but the Fire Giant could be on the table.
Yeah, they're just going to back though. They've pushed the tier 1, they pushed the tier 2, they took out a lot of members on the side of Avant Garde, and just a Pandemonium playing their typical strat. Just win a few of these fights, play as hard as you can, and then back and spend, and you'll have an even bigger advantage over a team that you've just won. Granted, that was a 4v5 in favor of Pandemonium, as Rob Diggity was split pushing, didn't manage to take that tier 2, but if Rob Diggity came into these fights and had a big combo with Tomahawk and Mouse, I think that fight would have turned completely in favor of Avant.
And I'd just like to point out the fact that both supports have picked up the Heart Ward and Sovereignty, meaning there's going to be AoE protections available to the team. Tomahawk is going to go into what I imagine is going to be a Spirit Robe. Swayer could be going into one as well. So they're pretty much even on build, with Swayer having a slight advantage given that he does have that Wingblade utility going for him.
Massive grouping here for both teams as Pandemonium are looking to really close out this game playing very objective bases. They are looking to maybe take out this tier 2 tower in mid, but Gold Fury is spawning in 30 seconds here. They could be looking to go for that little bit of extra lead, as well as the Fire Giant still up 25.5 minutes into this game. It's really anyone's guess what objective Pandemonium want to go for next.
No, they're going to be looking to bait Fire Giant 100%. Or they would look to fight near or even underneath the tier 2 tower in mid, get some kills, then rotate to the Fire Giant, look to pick that one up, and then just sweep across the Phoenixes and rest of the towers.
Yeah, it would be a much cleaner objective secure lineup there for Pandemonium. Still, they're going actually for this gold Fury. They could have, as you said, baited that Fire Giant, but they're really just taking that extra bit of gold advantage over Avant. I don't think Avant should really be contesting this one. Maybe defend under a Phoenix or under a tier 2 tower, however, as Pandemonium able to pick up themselves that gold Fury fairly easily there. Thor going up, however, in that backline. Could be looking to crash down onto a cheater. The Cataclysm comes through from Swaya, and that's a good amount of damage in the backline. Good ultimate there as well from Ro. Looking to go onto Rob Diggity under that tier 2 tower, but the Astral Barrage doing a lot of damage there as well. But the Takeo drums as well get popped, and Sports manages to pick up his first kill on that fight there onto El Chuckles. And now Mouse might be in a bit of trouble as Ro, looking very aggressive, could be looking to pick him up as Mouse is running the complete opposite direction from his team.
He's just trying to bait the rest of Team Pandemonium into chasing him rather than getting the objectives. It's the correct play, given that he was caught out massively. He's actually he did a good job of just completely distracting the team.
Yeah, Ro easily able to pick up Mouse though. Unfortunately, the distraction was not working on Team Pandemonium. They take the tier 2 tower. Bit of a pause coming out here. The only tower that remains on the side of Avant Garde is that tier 2 tower in mid. And this is where we should be looking to see Pandemonium really starting to bait that Fire Giant. We saw a really good fight there as they picked up 2 members and the tier 2 tower and the Gold Fury. If they can just do that on the opposite side of the map with that Fire Giant, it could be game for Pandemonium.
I think it might be game anyway. Pandemonium's just had the more clinical team fight. They've had the better communication, better combination of CCs. They're managing to go in, bait actives, back out, and then re-engage it again. You could just see 3 blinks on the side of Team Pandemonium onto Rose, Sporks, and Swaya respectively. And they're just using them in unison, using them one at a time rather than all together.
It's absolutely perfect. Swaya is doing such a good job. It's like the old Biggie, the old Avant Garde, when Biggie would just initiate, he would just blink, Cataclysm, hit 3 people, and it would just be a perfect combo, and Pandemonium could easily follow it up. And Swaya really living up to the standards and just 0, 0, and 5, hitting almost every single Cataclysm of this game and setting up his entire team. He's doing a really good job, and props to Swaya for that.
Yeah, massive props. He's been the setup which the team needed. 0, 0, and 5 right now on that game. Hasn't been involved in all of the kills, but the ones he has been involved in have been absolutely massive and allowed them to push for the extra objectives. He's kept this ADC subfloor alive throughout the entirety of the game and managed to help keep the rest of the team at bay as well.
And now the Fire Giant bait has started as the entire team of Pandemonium looking in this right jungle. The ward battle has begun here. Bit of lag must be coming through from the side of Avant Garde with all these pauses, but could imagine that, I mean, it could be strats maybe. What are they going to do in this next fight? Really, what can they do Alpha other than like a good taunt stun combo from Mouse and Tomahawk? I really don't see them coming and winning a fight.
They need to be the aggressors for once, in my opinion. They need to make sure that they're the ones forcing the enemy actives. Because 3 beads on the side of Pandemonium, 2 Aegis on Raijin and Rama respectively. They can look to really focus out the Hombats and Geb. They really look to just punish them for being too aggressive. And then look to engage on the backline. They need to make sure to have a good Nemesis ult and just blow up that target and then engage a 4v5.
I would like to see it happen, but Sports and Swaya just looking aggressive here. Could be looking to take out this speed buff here, but Tier 2 tower remains in the mid lane. And really, Subfloor is going to be poking that one down, doing a lot of damage with that chin size. And it's really any team to engage here is going to win the next fight. Swaya doing a good job. Tomahawk just missing the taunt there. Only he manages to hit Swaya, and the good combo stun comes through from Mouse. Unfortunately, it was only onto 1 member, and Pandemonium able to pick up the final remaining tower for Avant Garde.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty much curtains for Avant Garde. If you have no structures available to defend from, you're going to find it incredibly difficult to rotate from a safe haven towards that Fire Giant or that Gold Fury. So it's going to be difficult for them to defend those major map objectives.
Pandamonium still lurking around this right side jungle. Could be catching out Liquid Renegade here. Good damage coming through onto Roe. The Cataclysm onto 3 members in the backline. Fear No Evil comes down onto the side of Mouse. Should be falling down here in a second. The Sanctuary is on as well, but the slow manages to miss. Liquid Renegade missing the Anvil of Dawn as well. Good call there. Subfloor manages to pick up the snipe with the Astral Barrage onto Mouse as he tried to back away. Roe's back and now he's teleported in at full health. This could be an easy fire giant here for Pandamonium, as there's only 4 members around, but they've all needed to back.
Roe baited so many abilities there. He baited a couple of ultimates as well. It was absolutely huge for Team Pandemonium that he was the one to go in first, to soak up that damage so he could go back to base, teleport back in.
Cheetah using that Takeo jumps to try and take out Chuckles. Overhand smash, more basic, should be able to pick him up as he's lurking around this back. Manacam only about 60 HP. Can he actually get out of there? The shield comes down onto him. Roe manages to clean him up with that dash. However, Chuckles falls down, and now Liquid Renegade forced to teleport away. A lot of damage coming through from that mark, and Ochita just zoning away. And Rob Diggity though, getting picked up by Roe, just diving the Phoenix. Roe playing so aggressive on that tier.
This is exactly what you do as tier. You just be an absolute harassment, absolute nuisance to the backline to make sure they don't have a moment to breathe. The second they start to line with ability, fearless them, make sure they don't do anything. And it's just impossible to kill him at this point.
Absolutely. The only 2 times that he's died, 6, 2, and 3 at this point, really the only times that he's died is one when he was diving the tower and had Tomahawk and El Chuckles to deal with while taking tower shots, and the other was just in another team fight. So practically tier, Roe, unkillable at this stage. He has Mystical Mail, he has Breastplate of Valor, he has that Bulwark of Hope, and the Spirit Robe. He's way too tanky at this point, and Avant Garde can't deal with him at all.
That Spirit Robe has just confirmed that Roe is actually unkillable at this point. Any CC that goes into him is going to take 15% less damage, which means, well, if he's not dying before, he's not dying now.
No doubt. Gold Fury started up once again for Pandemonium. They'll easily be able to take that one. I'm just having a look here. Almost everyone's finished off their entire build here, except for Sporks, who's finishing off the Titan's Bane. Ochita's going to be getting that Soul Reaver, which is going to be so crucial for these team fights. He can really just be one-hitting everyone. And of course, the support still has that Watcher's Gift, but he's basically hit late game at this point. Sway is doing too much for his team.
Yeah, Cheetah and Rose currently sitting top of the damage charts at just over 18,000 each, showing the frontline and backline combination of Tyr and Raijin is so devastating and so deadly that you have to find answers for it early on or face the consequences.
Subfloor, he's gone into that Wind Demon as well. He is going to be hitting like an absolute truck, as well as the Deathbringer. 1 crit, going to get that extra attack speed and movement speed from the passive of Wind Demon as well. So expect him to be doing so much in these fights, as he already has not even died yet, 5-0 and 4. And now Panda looking to aggress this left side Phoenix. They do have the Fire Giant buff still up, and the Cataclysm engagement has begun. Good taunt coming through onto Sporks, but there's no follow-up on the side of anyone. The Suns come down in defense. It's a good amount of damage as the Fear No Evil comes down onto Liquid Renegade, gets cleaned up by Subfloor, and the Takeo drums don't manage to find any amount of damage as Rob Diggity manages to use that dive bomb. Mouse falls down. Subfloor picks up a double kill with that Astral Barrage, and diving this Phoenix now, diving the Titan, should I say, is Pandemonium. 2 members alive on the side of Avant Garde, and they're forced to just sit under that fountain while they pick up their heals, and all of Pandemonium are pretty much half health. They've barely taken any damage.
Yeah, they can just look to clean up the Phoenixes, or even look to end the game at this point, can Team Pandemonium. The safe option would be to take down another Phoenix.
What a good Fearless into the big CC chain. Get cleaned. Ochita and Sporks pick up the kill there. Roe, what a perfect Fearless onto both of the members while their beads are down. That's going to be game there for Team Pandemonium, with a beautiful ending there from Roe onto the 2 members of Avant Garde. Game number 1 going towards Pandemonium.
Yeah, it was expected to see Pandemonium win this game and possibly even win this set. But what I did not expect was Avant Garde to really just pick up the pace and really look to try and take the fight to Pandemonium. They had a lead for the good portion of the mid game and could have potentially looked to have snowballed it themselves, just weren't able to find the crucial map objectives when they had the advantage.
And we'll be back in just a second with game number 2, guys. Make sure you stay in the chat as well to rack up those points for the giveaway. We'll be back in just a second.